The immediate future tense, or how to talk about what you're going to do. So far, all the verbs that we've looked at in Spanish have been in the present tense, which is used to tell us what happens or what is happening. In the first sentence, Elena estudia español, we can take it to mean either Elena studies Spanish or Elena is studying Spanish. Hoy vamos de compras means today we are going shopping or today we go shopping. In the third sentence, normalmente mis padres leen libros. Leen can only mean that my parents read books because normally implies a repeated action. Normally my parents read books. Similarly, in the final sentence, salgo con mis amigos los fines de semana, salgo can only mean I go out because los fines de semana, at the weekends, again implies a repeated action. However, if we change the verbs from the present to the immediate future, it changes the meaning of the sentences. So, Elena va a estudiar español now means Elena is going to study Spanish. The second sentence, hoy vamos a ir de compras, means today we are going to go shopping. Now I can't just change the third sentence, normalmente mis padres leen libros, to the immediate future, because normalmente implies a repeated action, and we can't say normally my parents are going to read books. So I need to change the time phrase. So if I change it to something which implies the future, such as during the holidays, that makes a lot more sense. Durante las vacaciones, mis padres van a leer libros. Similarly, with the final sentence, los fines de semana implies a repeated action. I can't say I'm going to go out with my friends at the weekends. It sounds a little bit strange. But if I change the time phrase to this weekend, all of a sudden it makes a lot more sense. Voy a salir con mis amigos este fin de semana. I'm going to go out with my friends this weekend. So, here we have some examples of the immediate future tense. So how do we form the immediate future tense in Spanish? Well, happily, the immediate future tense works the exact same way in both Spanish and English. They both take part of the verb to go, and they both have an infinitive. So, first of all, the verb to go, ir, is the verb that needs to change to say who is going to do the action. So if I'm going to do something, I use voy. If we're going to do something, we use vamos, and so on. Next, we need the preposition a, which holds it all together. And then finally, we need the infinitive of the action that we're going to do. So just as in English, if I say, I'm going to eat, I need the infinitive to eat, comer. Whereas if I say, I'm going to go out, I need the infinitive of to go out, salir. So if I put it all together, I'm going to eat, I've got voy a comer. In the same way, if I want to say, I'm going to go out, I say voy a salir. Now, if we want to change the person who is going to do the action, we simply change the verb to go. So if we take that last example, voy a salir, I'm going to go out, and I want to change it to we're going to go out, I would change it to vamos a salir. Note that whenever you use the immediate future tense, you need all three parts. Part of the verb to go, the preposition a, and the infinitive. You do not need to change the endings of the infinitive. So, we are going to write is always going to be vamos a escribir. Elena is going to do sport would be Elena va a hacer deporte. So notice how when we use the present tense, we always change the ending of the verb. We eat sandwiches is comemos bocadillos. But when we've got the immediate future, we've got a three-part structure with the verb to go, the letter a, and the infinitive. Vamos a comer bocadillos. We're going to eat sandwiches. Similarly, Enrique sale con sus amigos means Enrique goes out with his friends or Enrique is going out with his friends. But to say Enrique is going to go out with his friends, we use our three-part structure. Enrique va a salir con sus amigos. We can use time phrases to help clarify which time period we're talking about. So if we use frequency phrases like normally or sometimes, the chances are that we're talking about what normally happens, and therefore we use the present tense. So we normally eat sandwiches, normalmente comemos bocadillos, or we never eat sandwiches, nunca comemos bocadillos. But if I want to refer to the future, I can use a time phrase which refers to the future, such as tomorrow, mañana, or later, más tarde. So we're going to eat some sandwiches later, vamos a comer bocadillos más tarde, or más tarde vamos a comer bocadillos. Of course, we have to be careful with time phrases, because even though it might appear that a time phrase can only be used with the future, we can use it with both the future and the present tense. Let's take nunca and the second sentence, Enrique sale con sus amigos. If we keep it in the present tense and say, Enrique nunca sale con sus amigos, it means Enrique never goes out with his friends. But we can still use nunca with the future tense and say, Enrique nunca va a salir con sus amigos, which means Enrique is never going to go out with his friends. So for that reason, we really have to pay special attention to the forms of the verb that we use. So there you have it. The immediate future tense behaves just like the English. It tells us what we are going to do or what is going to happen. Like the English, it includes part of the verb to go and an infinitive, and we put both of those parts together with the preposition a to give us a three-part structure. So, whenever you use the immediate future tense, check to make sure that you've got all three parts.